we can start letting everybody in there, guys. So let's welcome everybody. Welcome to the challenge. Welcome. We can start. All right. So welcome everybody. I am just trying to get you, as you come in, say hi, say where you're coming in from, what location, what state you're in. We're gonna have a couple of people on here. I'm gonna make sure. And if you're already in the Facebook group, that is amazing. Hopefully everybody who is in the Facebook group, I'm gonna be sharing the link to the YouTube. So you are able to see it on both platforms. So if anybody's in, welcome. I see a lot of people in. Yeah. Welcome. Start doing some little bit of networking. All right. Okay, so let me spotlight myself. Let's see, make sure I am spotlighted. I guess I can spotlight for everybody. All right. Hey everybody, how are you doing? I am so glad that you decided to come on. I'm gonna remove my pen. I'm trying to put myself spotlighted, but let's see. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, no, I got it. I see North Carolina. I see Alabama. I see Nevada, New York, Texas here, Maryland, California, North Carolina, Justice, Illinois. All right. I'm so glad. Hold on, I didn't miss anybody. Welcome. The fact that you are here is because you are excited about 2024 and you want to start 2024 on the right foot and become more visible, because if they can't see you, they can't find you. So we're going to get right into what to expect for a challenge. So I'm going to open up my presentation and we're going to just get right started in our presentation mode. So, all right. So we have some admin in there. So if there's any question, they'll they'll stop me for the question, but we will have Q&A time at the end. So don't worry about it. So today you're here for the 12-day visibility challenge. So we're going to be doing a lot of activities, discussions, sharing some strategies. With the direction of here, the way this is going to work is that our kickoff session is to give you the overview of how this will work. So we have the first teaching today to get you ready. You will have, so if you have paper and pencil, start taking notes, in your paper and pencil. If you got your printout, for those who are VIPs, start taking notes in your notebook in there. And then you will have some homework assignment to do. And they're not hard assignment. It's just things to help you think about your visibility. And when I say visibility, this is not a go live everyday challenge. This is about making sure that you are visible where you need to be visible, where people need to find you. So it's focusing on your brand, on how people can see you, and I'm going to be teaching you different strategies. So we have our first lesson today. The other lessons for the next 11 days, because it's day one, will be in the Facebook group, and it also will be shared on YouTube. So in case you can't hop on that day to hear the same time to hear the teaching, it will be there. It's good to be live so you can ask your questions in the chat, because I love the little interaction. Tomorrow I'll be on at 12, and then after I will send you the calendar for the rest of the time, but you will have the lessons that you will have to do, your homework assignment, and then you put your questions throughout the day in the Facebook group. So we will use those questions as an opportunity to respond. And if I see that activity requires me to be there on, I will just hop on and we'll do a quick Q&A answering whatever the questions are, and I'll go over that question and I'll give you notice when I'm gonna go on. So I will see how much questions it is for that first day, and I'll go on that day or the following day to give you enough time to make arrangements to meet us on the live, but you can always put your questions on there. You can always interact. I want to see your brand. We want you to share your brand because that's a way for people who are in the group to see your business, to see what's going on. So we're able to support you and say, hey, here is where I'm the disconnect. Here's what I think about your brand. So you're able to fix it or engage and be able to start 2024 the correct way. So I already got into all the description of what it is. Towards the end of our 12-day visibility challenge, we will have a closeout session. There will be one closeout session for the VIP on Zoom, and the rest, the closeout session for the group will be on Facebook. And that one, you'll be able to, it'll be 5 o'clock on that day. You'll be able to tune in and ask your question too, and then you will get your guidance. All right. So let's get into it about me. You know, I am the CEO of All-Around Creative Solution, and we used to prioritize military spouse, but we help women who are fighting for life in business become more productive, get more visible, and take their business to a new level. So I put that on there to say, because to show you that last year, that was my priority. This year, our priority is supporting people with their brand, supporting people with their visibility. So this is showing you how a brand can evolve, and you can fine tune your business as you go through it. So you might start off one way, and then throughout the process, see how deep you lie. We still do creative. We still do hands-on learning. We still provide powerful education. We still want to transform the education of women entrepreneurship, but this time we're not only focusing on military spouse, although we are passionate about military spouse, we open it up to the whole community to support them to get their business to the next level. So as we start, I have a challenge for you in the chat. I want you to write your brand story in one sentence. So tell us about your brand in one sentence. I'm going to stop sharing so I can see the chat. In one sentence, how would you describe your brand? In one sentence, how would you describe your brand? Let me go back to the chat and give you all some time to do it. How will you describe your brand in one sentence? What's your brand story in one sentence? It could be a long sentence. I'll give you a moment. Ooh, I see a lot of people in the chat. Texas. All right. I'm going to check the group to make sure no one. All right. So we have Sufran that says, what is that? It says, we're the plug to missed opportunity. That's a good one sentence line. Anybody else have a one sentence story for their brand? Okay, Hope said, a resource for finding success and professional fulfillment in your career journey. Vanessa says, we help companies maximize their impact and investment. So that if you're struggling with this, now that might be your first homework assignment to get your brand story created. So it says, we help. So Carla says, we help women know that they can start their fitness journey where they are. Awesome. All right. Cherie said, her brand story, hyperachievers turned stay-at-home mom would need to find herself again. Life and mom coach, helping mom to lose their mind and feel themselves again. Oh, this is powerful. So she's telling her whole story there in one sentence. It says, empowered faith-based organization with people managing solutions to thrive and move their mission forward. Oh, we're getting there. So we have a lot of people. You know, I probably should have done a word cloud so y'all can see all of this, but it's like, okay, we inspire others to learn from their pain and grow despite of their what everything they're going through. I think I probably skipped one person. Have we helped you to purge past pain to live your best life? And we have Sweet Surrender Spa, quality bath and body care empowers women to prioritize themselves, their health, and the vitality of their skins and improve their overall well-being through daily self-care. So if you know, when people are watching this on YouTube, you need to go and look for these people to hear their brand story. So Kim states that we have caregivers by empowering them to prioritize themselves, their self-care. Okay. And Cassandra said, empowering women to manage their chronic illness holistically. And Sheila's put, helping women coaches and consulting create systems and automation to be able to live a life their desire and spend time with their family. Awesome. So we're still sharing. So what I'm going to encourage you to do the same brand story that you shared. We're going to put a post out there. You're going to share your brand story in the chat also. So make sure you continue sharing your brand story. So in the Facebook group, so people can see it. So let's get back to our presentation. Fun fact. The same way you just shared your brand story in there, the one sentence, it takes only 7 seconds for a consumer to form their first impression on your brand. 7 seconds. If you did not know that, if this is a new fact that you just found out, put a 1 in the chat so I can know that if this is the first time you heard this fact. Right? If you knew about, if you didn't know, if you know about it, put a 1. If you didn't know about, if you didn't know about it, put a 1. If you did know about it, put a 2. Awesome. Okay, I'm seeing that in the chat. A lot of 1. I have 1 person that says 2. So that means if you know that it takes 7 seconds for first impressions to see if they're going to actually buy from you or not, that your brand foundation is key, because it only takes 7 seconds for that buyer to say, okay, am I going to go and do business with this company, or am I not going to do business with this company? So you need to have something that captivate the minds and the eyes of people, right? So you want to know, it's short, but it's, yeah, people attention span is so short. So when you're making those 5-minute, 10-minute reels, you need to understand, or videos, you need to understand the first 7 minutes you need to catch their attention. First 7 seconds, you need to catch their attention. You only have the 7 seconds, and it might be getting less because as we integrate AI and things go faster, it gets faster too. All right. So now we're going to go over a couple of things. So today we're going to be focusing on your social media, like what's the do's and don'ts. So you can start putting it in the practice. You can go and spend some time today making a plan. So by the time we're done with our challenge, you should have a plan. All right. So this is guideline for maintaining consistent and engaging presence on social media. You want to maintain consistency. So that goes with your brand palette, your logo across all platforms. I would even say, even your name. You don't want to be one name on one platform, another name on another platform, because then people can't find you. We get the slides. I'll think about it. I'll probably drop the slides in the chat, but you will have the video, so you'll be able to get the video. So you will get the video in YouTube and all that. So I will see how about putting the slides in the chat later on. That would probably be a good idea. I put it in the slide. So you want to maintain visual consistency with your logos, your palette, whatever it is, so they can know, okay, as soon as you see it, you recognize that person. We know the Tiffany blue at the back of our hand. We know when we see the Walmart signals. So you know the McDonald's arches. So you need to become relevant across the platform. Second thing is you want to be authentic. You want to show not only your business personality, but your personality, because the CEO is becoming the new logo of, well, has been the new logo of the business. So when they look up a business, not only do they don't really think of the logo first, they think of who is in charge. Who are we talking? So the way you present yourself should reflect also your business. So the values of your business, because they look at you. You know, if Elon Musk does something crazy, we know, okay, now X and Tesla, we have to just deal with that. If you know, they had a whole thing with if you have with the Chat GPT founder Sam Alderman, we can tie them to that without now with the open AI. So different founders, you know, you picture them with that person. You know, when you think of Amazon, we already know Jeff Bezos is part of that brand. So you want to be able to know that as a CEO, as an entrepreneur, how do you show up and be authentic? Don't try to fake it. Be you, right? It says engage the audience. You want to regularly interact, not only just post, but respond to them, reply to them. If they post something, you respond too. So if you see your engagement is low, maybe you need to go and engage in someone else's and be able to bring it back to you. So, or maybe hire someone just for engagement, not only to post, but just to engage with other platform with people who is in your target demographic or who is supporting your target demographic. And it says post regularly. You want to maintain consistency. I'm not saying post every day. I'm saying post regularly. So if your post is once a week, you put once a week so everybody know at once a week she'll be posting. If you're gonna be, but you just need to know what's regular for each platform. For LinkedIn, posting every day or 3 times a day on LinkedIn is not regular. It's actually a little bit excessive. You don't need to post that much on LinkedIn because LinkedIn is a space for thought leaders. So whatever you post, you want to be very meticulous and think about it and say, okay, I'm going to post something that's thought-provoking there that will make a difference. That will say people say, aha, so they can respond to that. But what you want to do is you want to respond regularly every day. So in LinkedIn, because the response and the engagement counts more than you just posting every day. I had one of my clients earlier today say, oh yeah, I post 3 times a day on LinkedIn. I'm like, no, LinkedIn is not the same thing as Facebook, is not the same thing as Instagram, is not the same thing as TikTok that favors that algorithm. So you need to be aware of what is regular for each platform. And that's what a little bit of research come into play. And you want to use relevant hashtags that align with your brand. So throughout this whole training for the next 12 days, I'm going to show you how to find those relevant hashtags. And if you're part of the VIP group, I'm going to show you some tips and tricks to help you get that a little quicker. So you're able to get those relevant hashtags and those relevant keywords for your business. All right, now here is what you don't want to do for your brand, for your social media branding. Avoid inconsistent messaging. You don't want to say one day I am selling sodas, next day I am a teacher, next day I am selling vending machine, next day you want to have a consistent message that, you know, one day I am a person that is not motivated. You want to be able to post and share things that is consistent with who your branding value is, whether it's in your business side, whether it's in your personal side. Personal, you can do whatever, but I'm thinking when you talk about your business brand or if you have a personal brand, you want to be consistent. It says don't neglect the visual branding. Don't forget about, we will probably have some time about talking about the importance of how to have it make sense for your brand. So if your brand is something that should have photos and you have cartoons all over the place, it doesn't go with your brand. If your brand is something that's light for kids and you have things for adults, it needs to have consistent visual and messaging throughout the whole thing. So you want to be consistent. Here it says don't over promote. Now I'm going to take a little moment and talk about that over promotion. On social media, when people see your brand, they are called cold leads. Basically, they are not, there's cold leads and there are warm leads. So because they're cold leads, you promoting your product, it's not going to help them buy. They're going to start ignoring you, because before they can buy from you, they need to know who you are. They need to like you, and they need to trust you. So that means you starting to share who you are by educating them, of who you're, entertaining them and engaging with them. So when you engage and say, oh, this is a person I trust. This is a person I know. This is the person who I know that I actually care, because I actually know them. I talk to them, and now I can join their mailing list. And on your mailing list is where you can promote. Because once they give you their email, they say, yes, send me information about this. And then you can go through the whole thing. One, you might have a sequence in your email mailing sequence that maybe once a quarter you say, hey, I just want to make sure that you want to be a part of my community. Do you still want to be a part of my community? Because we're going to be promoting this. If you don't want to receive any promotion, here is a way to opt out. And if you do want to continue, you don't need to do anything. The reason why that's important is if they don't want to engage, that's better for you that they get off your list so you can have a better engagement rate, because they're not buying from you. So if they want to continue, they might say, hey, I want to be in the part of the mailing list, but I don't want you to promote so much to me. Then you can put them in, segmenting them in different directions. So you want to make sure that you don't ignore their feedback, right? You want to make sure that if people give you feedback about something, you try to implement it. I love getting feedback to say, okay, did I do okay? Did I not do okay? What can I do better? Because I really want to empower my my community to be able to feel that they are part of this brand. And one of our values for our company is empowerment, is community. I don't refer to my community as clients, because they're part of my community. They're part of the family, the ECS family. They're my business besties, because that's part of our value. Communities are very important. And the last part is, you don't want to use irrelevant hashtag. Just because someone else is using the hashtag, you're going to put your business in a category that does not relate to you. So you want to put your business in a category that does relate to you. All right. Now, next thing. I like that question. We're going to answer that. Do I have hashtag? Yes. So my company, I like that question of, do I have any hashtag? I do have hashtags that I use. And it's through research. We have keywords and hashtag, and that's in our brand playbook. I know branding is one of my hashtags. Women empowerment, women in business is one of my hashtags. But we have a whole playbook of when we're promoting wellness, these are the hashtags we use. When we're promoting branding, these are the hashtags we use. So we do have certain hashtags, and we have a playbook that we have that everybody in our company is able to see and use when we're putting things out there, that it can stay consistent, that we'll be under the same where we want to be found by our audience, where our audience would be. So we do have consistent hashtags, and we do continually research to see if it's still relevant to our business, because after a while it might not be relevant. As I told you, last year we were focused on military spouses, so most of our hashtag was surrounded around military spouses. Now that's not our focus, because we open up our scope, so we don't use that hashtag too much, because it doesn't necessarily fall in line with our company's direction right now. It's still a priority for us, so we still support military spouses by hiring military spouses, by having interns who are military spouses. But as for that's the only focus, so it's not our only focus, right? So we do support that way too. But that's a really good question. Now, let's look at brand audit. So I'm gonna give you a couple of things and how we're looking at that. So when you're looking at your brand, because today you're gonna be looking at your brand, you're gonna look at your social medias, look for visual consistency. So the first thing I would encourage you to do is look at all your social media platform, look at the logo, how you use your logo. Make sure everything is updated and consistent across all the platforms. All right. And then go and do a color scheme check to see, is the color scheme uniform? Is it the same? Is it, your color, your brand color should be consistent on your posts and your profile. Is it consistent? That will be just make up pleasing. It not necessarily have to be like, it doesn't, when I say consistent, I don't mean the same. There's a difference between consistent and the same. So you want to make sure it's there's, we're gonna go into that throughout the week, but you want to be that, you want to have it uniform. And not uniform, you want to have it consistently on all platforms, like on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, that whenever they see your business, it will be something that is consistent throughout. Let's see. And then you want to review your overall aesthetics. Make sure the graphics, the visual, everything aligns. So in our company's brand playbook, we make sure that those who are posting, for our business, that they do stay consistent with our business. They don't try to do things that's not relevant to our business. So, and the next thing you want to look at is your voice and your tone, your brand voice. How is your brand voice? So some people say, do you even have a brand voice? Do you even know how to figure out your brand voice? Basically, is how do you want to talk to your audience? What kind of tone do you want to talk to? Some people have harsh tones. Some people have the soft tone. Some people have the empowerment tone. You want to be joyful. Some people have a professional tone, or we consider an empowerment tone. What kind of voice? And if you have a brand voice, is it consistent around everything? Is your caption, your ebooks, your newsletters, does everything, and is everything capturing that information, right? So then after, you want to think about your content relevance guidelines. You want to make sure that, okay, are you do you have guidelines for evaluating your what you're going to be posting? For across social media, what is being posted? So if you're in our playbook, we have content pillars that we follow. Do your brand have content pillars? Because once you have that, you're able to focus. You're able to focus in on what you're able to focus on your messaging and when you're in what posts you're doing. So you won't be all over posting random stuff. You're posting that align with your brand, because you don't want to say, okay, I am selling cookies, and then all of a sudden they will see makeup, they will see jewelry, they will see you teaching something that they'll see you toys. If you look at Cookie Crumbles Instagram, it's cookie all over. They are laser focused on promoting their cookies. If you look at it, I would challenge you to go and look at Crumble Cookies Instagram, and they have a lot of followers, and all they have on their pages are the cookies that they make, right? So and then the next thing I want you to take a look at is the key things audit. Basically, your bios, your profile, are they all consistent? Do they say the same thing? So you might want to spend some time today I'm going to have you spend some time going through all your social media platform, seeing, is everything consistent? Do you even, if you're missing a platform, let's say you say, I'm only going to focus on Facebook. Even though you focus on Facebook, make sure you secure your Instagram. Make sure you secure your TikTok. Make sure you secure your Twitter, just in case, like your LinkedIn, just in case later on you do want your audience pivot, and you do want to have that platform, that you're able to secure that platform for your company, for your brand, right? All right. So I know it's a lot. I'm kind of get to the point where you're able to ask your questions. So why does this all matter? Why does it all matter? Because I told you in the beginning that it takes 7 seconds for people to make a decision if they're going to work with you. So the reason why is because, when you have, it's easy for people to recognize you. It's easier for them to build trust. It enhances the experience. Everybody know iPhones. They have an experience of what they expect from the iPhone. Those who are Android lover, they know what to expect from that. Those, so it's like it becomes more than just buying the iPhone. It's a culture. For iPhones, for Apple people, it's a culture that they sell the experience. They don't sell the phone, they sell the experience. The same way with your brand, you're selling that brand experience with others. So that's one of the reasons why it matters, because people will say, I know when I go work with that person, they will give me excellent work, or they will give me this certain kind of work, and I'll go on beyond that, and they'll go above and beyond what I expected. So I know exactly what to expect. When you go to Chick-fil-A, you know what experience that you have. Oh, I have Team Android on here. Anybody else Team Android? Are you Team Android or Team iPhone? Put in the chat. Team Android or Team iPhone? I'm Team iPhone. So because I have iPhone, although I do have a one Android, but I barely use my Android. It's there for backup. I see iPhone, I see Android. Okay, it's a different experience. It's either one or the other. I know that I have an iPhone, I have an iPad, I have a mini, I have a MacBook Pro. So it's like the team Android run out of space and can't oh great. Well, I don't need to worry about that space too, because everything is all over the place. Okay. All right, Androids. The last part of this is building brand. I mean, is the effective communication. Once you have everything cohesive, it's easier to communicate with your customers, especially when you have those days when you don't know how to show up, because life is lifing. Because you have a brand voice and you know exactly your pillars, it's just easier for either you to just, okay, here's what I need to put out because this is the messaging and everything is consistent, it's easy, or I can outsource it to someone else and they know exactly how to capture your messaging, right? All right. So I've been alluding to the homework assignment of what you're supposed to be doing for your homework assignment, right? So on social media, you're going to, I'm not saying redesign, but you're going to look at your platform and choose one platform that you want to work on throughout this 12 days. If you want to do multiple, that's fine. If you want to be an overachiever, but I'll just choose one and take a snapshot of that platform. Just go to that main page, take a screenshot of that page, or a screenshot of that page, whether it be Instagram, whether it be Facebook, whether it be TikTok, whether it be that profile of TikTok, whether it be Twitter, I don't know how much people use Twitter, or your LinkedIn. Take a picture of that and look at it, see, okay, what needs to be worked on. And I want you to post that screenshot in the group. So what we're going to do as a team, we're going to go into the group, and then people in the community will say, hey, you know what? I see, this works. I like this. I like that. And then you say, hey, maybe you can update this. We're going to help each other update that platform. I'm not going to say put multiple ones. Let's start with one. Once you're good with that one, and maybe later on we can put another one. But let's today choose a platform. Maybe you go on Instagram and just take a screenshot of that and upload it in our Facebook group. Right? This will help you focus on aligning your identity. And then after that, so and also I want to show you to share your before and after pictures. So this will be your before snapshot to everybody. And then when we're done, when you finish it, say, hey, I've updated of my Instagram. What do you think? So this is a better way, this is a good way to have everybody in the community supporting each other. And you might say, hey, what they're doing is cool. I want to do that too. So I'm gonna work on that for myself, right? I'm gonna work on that for myself. So I'm going to stop here for a minute to give you a moment to, I'm going to stop sharing, ask your questions. If you have any questions, now is the time. You can raise your hand, and then our admin will let me know who is first, who is second. For any questions you have based on what I talked about. Anyone, no questions? Or you can put in the chat, did they answer all the questions? Was that good? Oh, I was excited for the challenge. Okay, no questions? Questions. Let me stop, move myself from the spotlight. So everybody is good. So if you do have questions, a lot of information. Oh, okay. For someone who have a question in the chat, and I'll answer it first, and I'll answer the next. Miss Bryant after it says, for someone who is social media adverse, what do you recommend? All right. And you're a business owner. Well, I recommend to start. Okay, that's a really good question. At least you're aware that you are adverse. You don't have to show your face on social media. It's okay. This is where we're taking baby steps. Choose one platform, and then we're going to help you through that process. I recommend, maybe getting an intern, but you still need to know your brand voice. You still need to be able to communicate with them, because you don't want someone just there communicating your stuff for yourself. They will come in and they will post for you, but you want to be able to know how to do it yourself, just in case they're not there. So so I would just say, just take baby steps. Have an accountability partner, or choose someone to go alongside with you, because you're not doing it by yourself. I know I had a lot of people in my mentoring group who were that way, and because we partnered together, we went live together in the summer as a group, so they're able to not be scared. But I'm not telling you to go live. Right now, you're not going live. All you're doing is taking a snapshot of your social media, and you're uploading. By the time we get through the 12 days and you are more educated, it should give you a more, I want to reduce that anxiety of social media. All right, hopefully that answers your question. If it doesn't, you can raise your hand and I'll go more into that. Do you want to go more? Go ahead, Ms. Bryan. What's your question?
So when you mention having content pillars, is that more so like creating a calendar of like what to post?
It's not a calendar. Content pillars, like what's going to be your focus. So
Okay.
my focus is, under branding, we also focus on women empowerment, on wellness, on, so you have to figure out, okay, and what you're going to, and branding. So we make sure that those are like the main topics that you're going to be talking about. And then after on there, you're describing what it looks like, what's some examples of it. So those are just, so when you have those content pillars, so when you go walking around and you're doing something, oh, this falls in line with it. I'm going to take a picture of this. I'm going to put it in my I'm going to record this. I'm going to write this note down, because I can put content around that. I can make a blog about this. I can make a article around that. So because it falls in line with your values and your mission, you have those same things that focus on your business. So, but that's where it comes with brand development. So people are so quick to say, I'm going to do the logo. You're not going to worry about just do the logo. You're going to say, okay, what is my focus? What's my business going to talk about? So I know on the weekends, our business talk about wellness, and because we know mental wellness for entrepreneurs is a big thing for us. We want to make sure that we have that community, so we empower our community that way too. So we'll post here and there things that relates to that. All right. All right. Hopefully that answers your questions. Joy said, will we go over how to find yes, we will go over on how to find the hashtags. They're gonna be coming up soon. Yes. Any other questions? I know some people coming on late. You can watch the replay. That is gonna be the replay is on YouTube right away. And then if you have any other questions, if I need to go over something, I can go over something for you all. Just let me know for that. And if you want me to show you what was required, want to show you what required, that's fine too. Any other questions? Comments? Okay, Kim, go ahead.
So your tone voice, you say it has to be consistent, but even though it's consistent, it still can be different depending on the post.
Yeah, so when I say tone, the tone, and After you go through the whole brand development of who you are, your values, why you're doing what you're doing for your business, your content, and like what are some things that your business content, you want to look at your target market. And we're going to be talking more about that, your target audience. And that target audience has some pain points. And you look at their pain points. And you need to know how to talk to those audience so you're able to reach the person that you're looking for. And it comes by paying attention to your audience. Sometimes people our audience are speaking to us and we're not listening. We're posting stuff to post it because we think is that what we know doing. I spent a good portion of this year just listening to my target market. I was listening and people say, oh, I don't know what to post on LinkedIn, right? And then I just I don't know what to post on Instagram. I don't know how to post. And so my team said, hey, I've been hearing people say they don't know how to post on what to post on Instagram. So we went and create a post to answer their questions. So when you're a business, you are in the business of solving the problem. But you cannot solve the problem if you don't listen to the problem. We go and look at the pain points and we don't go and solve the pain points. You go and tell people about their pain. Don't just tell them about the pain. Solve their pain. Educate them in that pain. And then be able to give back. So say, hey, you know what? I was looking for this answer and this person answered my question. I had skin issues and I went to this person's page and they were talking about this and this and this. I'm going to buy their skincare product because they actually helped me with my issue. I don't know if anybody's noticed people have been talking about making these DIY soaps, DIY, foods and stuff like that, because most of the people are going into that because one of the pain points is groceries are too expensive. So what was that to do? Since groceries are too expensive, let me show you how to make your own your own detergent. Let me show you how to make your own seasoning. Let me show you how to make your own bread. Let me show you how to make your own butter. And they people are flocking to that because that's their pain point. They're not going, hey, grocery, you're supposed to say grocery price is too high. They don't go and poke the pain. They give you the solution to the pain. So when you know that, then when you talk about your brand voice, your voice you will talk to that pain. You will share the solution and you will reach them the way they want. So those people you will say, well, these people, I need to be hard with them. Or if I need to be soft with them, these people, I need to hold their hands. These people want to be direct to the point. These person like fluff. Some people don't like fluff. So you are able to develop your brand voice. And after if you spend some time working on your brand, you can use the power of AI to figure the best way to do this. Right? Hopefully that answers your question. I'm looking in the chat. I see Sheila says, what is a brand store, or is that a brand statement? What do you mean by that, Sheila? I don't know if you're still here.
I'm sorry, brand story.
Brand story is okay. It's like why is the brand story is like like your I help statement of why you started your business in one sentence. Like, tell me about your business in one sentence. Like how you were formed. Like that's your brand. Like like I can just say, okay, you can say something. I think I don't know if anybody can go back on there, but I don't know what time you came on, but a lot of people share their brand story of what they do. I think the first one I saw was we're the plug to the missing opportunity. So it's like a slogan, but but it just tell a little bit more about it. And then some people go into detail about their brand story. I had one person that says hyperachiever turned stay-at-home mom would needed to find herself again. Life mom coach, helping moms stop losing their minds and feel more like themselves again. So it's like your one sentence pitch to tell me about your business. If you had one sentence, like for my brand, I said, we help women who are fighting for life in business get more visible, get more productive, and take their brand to the next level. That's one of my brand. This was part of my brand story. you know, and then you can go, there can be a lot of iterations of it. So it's basically, how can you tell someone about your brand in one sentence? All right. And then I saw another one that says, how do you keep brand tone consistency? I'm going to answer that brand tone consistency. With that one right there, I would just say go with AI. I would just go with AI. Put in that. Once you have your brand tone, you can tell AI, here is my brand tone. Can you this is the post I'm going to be posting. Can you change that post to reflect my brand story or my brand tone? It will help you with that too. So you don't there you are able to take the guesswork out of that too. Let's see. Joy said, my problem is finding where people are talking so I can listen to them to find an issue. Okay, that's a really great question. So now once you know who your audience, this comes with doing your brand development. Once you know who your target market is, you know where they shop. You need to start having ways to invite conversations for that. And that's where networking come into place. For me, I know my target audience is entrepreneurs. So networking events where they are, I love talking about their story. And I just say, hey, let's connect. Let me hear your stories and let's just talk. And people will talk and they will share their problem. I remember, and I don't know if anybody came to any of my coffee and connections. I hosted a networking events, my own networking event for my target audience. They came in and we just started talking about a topic and I listened to their pain point because when people start talking, they share when they start sharing their stories and sharing from, like I said, I'm just listening. I'm like, I'm listening. I did a lot of listening this year. I did a lot of collaborations here. This year was my year of collaborations. And all the collaborations I did, I spent a good portion of that listening. I talk too, but I listen. And when I listen, I implement what I see the common threads. So you want to do that way too. So you have to find find where they're at and start listening. And sometimes it can be on social media. You go on TikTok, you put on the little thing and you start listening to people like they're complaining. You're complaining, and then you just respond to that. Right? And let me see. Hopefully that answered your question about that, Joy. Sure says, okay, I guess one brand story framework. Okay, I like that framework. I like the past, the problem, pivot. I like that. That's a really great framework. You can use that. That's a really nice framework. Another way to do it. That's amazing. I like that. All right. So that's big help. So now for those who are VIPs, you have the second link. You're able to hop on. I'm going to be showing you some a little bit more stuff. And then after that, I'll send you that replay. So the rest of you student challenge, you will be receiving agenda for that, for what's going on. But in the chat, when you go back to the Facebook group, I want you to introduce yourself. I want you to share your brand story on there. I want you to share your social media that you're focusing on and your expectation, because in that way you start talking to each other, because you never know the person that you are solving the problem for is in this room. So that question where you said, I didn't know how to find where people are talking about the problems, here is a perfect opportunity for you to network and see maybe your target market is in this audience. All right. So you want to be able to share. It's collaboration over competition. You get more when you collaborate. All right. Any question, any feedback, anything? You have 5 minutes. If you want to share what takeaways, you can put in the chat before we hop over. If not, I'm going to give you back your time and I'm going to hop on over. I'm going to do a little trip and hop on over to the VIP in about 5 minutes. Is there any questions? All right. I can't wait for tomorrow. Okay. All right, bye. If there's no question, we will see you later. VIPs, I will see you in the other room soon. Okay. And those who are on YouTube, we'll see you tomorrow for our second session.